was a roll the windows down on the drive into work kind of day.
Yeah, nice.
It will be again tonight, I assume.
Yeah,
outside.
Crack the window maybe on the way home.
Not all the way.
Well, yeah,
cooler.
cars get warm, so it's kind of hard to say. There was this whole. Do you remember MythBusters? Remember that show? One of the favorite segments they ever did was they ran the same car, one with air conditioning, one with the windows down at highway speeds to see which was more
I've
efficient.
always wondered that.
And the punchline would be great if I could remember. I think the air conditioning was more efficient than having the windows down, but they had all 4 windows down.
Right, because you have a lot of draft.
Yeah. Can you Google this while I'm doing this? Because I'm pretty sure I don't want to get
your work for you.
the people the wrong information. But I remember that being. I was like, I've been wondering this for years.
Okay.
Like, what's the better?
Which is the better option?
You do the weather, we'll dig into it.
I wondered we could plan this ahead of time. 61 for current temperature in Portland, 58 in Rockland. The coast dropped a couple of degrees today. It wasn't a huge difference, right? But inland, a big difference. Freiburg was sitting, I think, at 80 at this time yesterday. If not, it was 79. So a big temperature change there. Northwest winds. That was a drying wind direction. And so we've got a lot of clear skies out there still. Beautiful day, a lot of sunshine. That will transition into clear skies overnight, which will allow temperatures to drop down. Because of that, we do have a frost advisory in effect into the mid-coast, into southern coastal Maine. I would argue we're really on the fringe season here for this advisory, because I think most people know that you're going to still have a chance to drop down to 35 or so during the overnight hours this time of the year, not even in May technically yet. But this is in place, and I think we get to the mid-30s there. The mountains likely get to freezing, but there's no frost advisory there because it's definitely not growing season. Tomorrow's a nice day. It is cool along the coast. Onshore flow keeps us in the 50s. Inland, we're probably in the low to mid 60s, so not super warm, but pleasant enough. Clouds come in late in the day into the evening, and then we drive this warm front through on Thursday night, Friday. So we start off Friday morning cloudy with showers. That cloud cover probably lasts through about the middle of the day at least. And then we have this chance to break into the warm sector over western and southern Maine in the afternoon. This is 3 o'clock, and I think there's really an upside for Friday afternoon over southern and central Maine. It's not a big window, but I think it's there. And then we start okay on Saturday too, with a mixture of sun and clouds, temperatures quickly into the 60s. We start okay on Saturday. The problem is eventually this front is going to slide through, and we'll end up with rain on Saturday afternoon into Saturday night. And then Sunday will be a question of how far this front can push to the south. Right now, it's close enough that the showers stay along the coastline, but it doesn't need to move far for us to be able to dry out there. So we've got showers in on Sunday, but there's a chance they'll be able to slide to our south. It's all about that front. So it's not a washout. First half of Saturday looks good. Sunday afternoon looks good. We won't talk a lot about next week because the European model gives us clouds and rain every single day, and the GFS is much more optimistic. I played it cloudy, but not rainy. Do we have an answer to the question?
So at 55 and above, AC more fuel efficient because the windows add too much drag. But if you're going at a lower speed, the windows are more fuel efficient.
Okay. That makes sense about where I would have thought that. Also, all the windows open at 55 is really not a good time anyway.
That's unpleasant.
So there's
very
that. Yeah.
A lot of people are doing it.
Thanks, Keith.